If you could say one thing to the people who are not already interested in this kind of content, what would you want them to understand about studying great books? Okay, one thing only, and I really think this is important. Um, when I talk to people who don't have a classical education or have never heard of Plato or whatever, um, one of the things that they almost always say to me is some variation of, I'm not that smart. I've heard those words themselves so many times. I'm not that smart. And I think that, like, what they mean by that is, you have all of this, like, education, you have this fancy degree, and I just feel like you are the kind of person who thinks about this stuff. I am not, right? I am a person that just kind of goes about his daily life, and I have my personal concerns, and I have my projects and my interests, but I'm not really equipped to talk about this stuff, and therefore it's not really relevant to me because how could it be? I can't access it. And they think that there's some kind of arcane knowledge that you need, or some perfect idea that you need in order to get into these books. Um, and of course, the grand irony is that the people who say I'm not that smart to me are always the most interesting people. Like that, when someone says that to me, I know the conversation is going to be really good because the next thing I ask is, "Oh, what do you mean by that?" Right? Like what? And they have these incredibly original reflections that are not bound by these kind of pieties that we now have in the academy, or these, or any, even indeed like these sort of political dogmas that we have. And yeah, like some of this stuff takes training, right? And that's kind of what I'm here for, is to offer, like, the fruits of higher learning, and to translate this stuff out of the foreign languages, and all of that. But once it's presented to you in that way, and there's plenty of good translations out there, plenty of people who are willing and ready to guide you. This stuff really is for you, and you are actually one of the best possible interpreters of it because you are living an actual human life, right? And if this stuff has any value at all, it's not because it furnishes material for PhD theses, right? It's because it has something to say to you about your soul, right? And you should always be thinking about those. Not every book is great for everybody. We've been talking on locals about some books that are great, but we just don't like, or whatever. But you're a person with like real, metaphysical things that you are facing, like high questions about how should I live my life. And there are books out there that are, offer you treasures of riches, right? For thinking through that. And if you're not getting that out of them, then maybe you're approaching people who are using them wrong, right? Maybe you've talked to people in the past who have used these books as ways of making them feel better than you, right? And there's so much of this out there. Like, I've read this, I've read that. And the sort of subtext of every lecture, every conversation is, well, you're really not good enough to get at this. But like, this stuff is for you, and you actually do have the capacity to access it and to think through it. It takes time, it takes effort and attention, right? The rewards are enormous, and you are equipped to do it because you're a human being with a brain, right? And because you are living a human life. So that would be my first thing, is like, get over your sense that you're not that smart. Like, put that out of your mind, and get over the idea that these things are designed to be impenetrable. They're not. They're designed to be for you, and there are people out there who are willing to help you get at them.